Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals 2017 season review analytics episode. This is going to be one of the first videos with this type of format, if you will, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos like this and see how you guys react. You know, if you guys like these types of videos, again, if you really like these videos, leave a like, leave a comment, share it, all that kind of stuff, because all that stuff really does help these episodes out. You know, in terms of you really like an episode or you really like a certain type of content, letting me know that you like that content is probably the best way so that I put out more videos, and of course getting views, of course. But definitely letting me know, okay, I really like this content, helps me out. But this video in particular is going to be a very not time intensive per se, but we're definitely going to go over a lot of different material and a lot of different data points that I've talked about before in prior videos. But this time we're going to get more historical with it, and we're also going to get more solution-based approach with it. Because what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the Arizona Cardinals 2017 season based on team statistics. We're going to look at all the areas where they were bad, all the areas where they need to improve. We're going to look at how they compare to every Arizona Cardinal team since 1998. We're also going to look at some other sort of data points as well to end it. And then we're also going to get into the areas that they should target when it comes to free agency and the draft. So we're essentially going to look at all the areas that they were bad, all the areas that they were good, and then give some recommendations on the solutions here, because I really want this video to be very solution based. I don't want to just tell you that they're bad and here's why. I want you to tell you they're bad in these areas, and this is where you need to improve. Like, you need to go after this type of player, or go after this type of position when it comes to free agency in the draft. The one thing I will say about the Arizona Cardinals this year, a lot of change is going to happen. Of course, Bruce Arians is no longer going to be the head coach. That definitely is going to have a big impact on things. Carson Palmer is retiring, according to most recent news. So that definitely is going to factor into things as well. And Larry Fitzgerald, I'm not going to say that he's rumored to be retiring or whatever, but Larry Fitzgerald is definitely older now, older than he was last year. So there definitely is a factor of maybe he might retire as well, or who knows. So Larry Fitzgerald is a year older. That's all we really know. So before I get into all the data and all the other sort of statistical stuff, all terms and definitions are going to be in the description. So if you're not familiar with any of the stuff I'm talking about, just go to the terms and definitions, and it pretty much gives you an overview of of all that information and all the data there. But this is just going to be a general kind of overview of how the Cardinals season went based on team statistics, based on how they look historically speaking, and also based on the areas, like these are the areas that they need to improve and all these other sort of areas. So ultimately, when you look at the Cardinals 2017 season based on data, when you get into this particular area, the Cardinals were pretty much below average when it comes to offense, especially very below average when it comes to total O score, which took down the total O/D score. And again, this basically just deals with the ability to create first downs. Very low in terms of that particular area. Sack percentage-wise, they were not very good at preventing sacks this year. Very below average in that aspect. Below average in terms of offensive score percentage, which is the ability to put points on the board. They were also below average in terms of turnover ratio, sack percentage, interception percentage on defense. So they were not really turning the football over as much as they needed to. Not really creating sacks. Not really creating interceptions. Punt returns and kick returns were also significantly below average, so not a lot of impact there. Defensive punt return yardage was also not that great. Field goal percentage was below average. Extra point percentage was below average. And their overall team strength score was below average. So definitely not the best season ever for the Cardinals. And when you look at this Cardinals team compared to every Arizona Cardinal team since 1998, you can clearly see that it's been kind of a downward spiral since 2015. 2015 was by far the best season that the Cardinals have had as a team on offense and defense in many ways. And it's just been kind of a slow decline after that point. When you look at just their overall data, in terms of preventing sacks, in terms of offensive score percentage, their offense just kind of went downhill. until they became one of the worst offenses in the NFL in 2017. So, when you just look at the overall data, the Cardinals have just kind of gotten a little, and it's kind of sad because 2015 was definitely a very promising year for them, but they just weren't able to keep that momentum and build off of it, and they just kind of got progressively worse until 2017 happened. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of factors that added to 2017. David Johnson being injured, definitely a big loss, but you can definitely kind of see that this team is not the best overall. And then when you actually just give a general ranking of the Cardinals team compared to every Cardinals team, they were pretty much average compared to all the Cardinals teams. So this is not the worst Cardinals team ever, since 1998 at least, but definitely not exactly where they wanted to be in terms of wins, losses, and all other kind of stuff. And of course, their offense definitely was very, very poor. So this is just a general overview of that. Now, when we get to the big point, areas where they need to improve. This just gives a general idea. Like these are the averages for 12 to 16 win teams, 9 to 11 win teams, 8 or more wins, and 7 or less wins. You can see a pretty steady correlation in a lot of these data points. So basically what this chart is doing is it gives you an idea of where you need to be. Like these are the averages for teams that win this amount of games. This is where you were. This is where you want to be. And I think the biggest areas where the Cardinals need to improve for 2018 is they definitely need to improve their ability to create first downs on offense. If they do that, that will definitely help them out in terms of their total O/D score, which is a combination of the D score and the O score. So the one thing I could say a positive is that the Cardinals defense definitely has been a positive this year. They've been able to prevent first downs as a defense, but that offense has to improve. Another thing that definitely needs to improve, the turnover ratio. Their turnover ratio was pretty close to the average for 8 wins or more, but that definitely needs to bump up. And I think that will help. The turnover percentage definitely will improve if they get a better quarterback and a better overall offense. I think that number will definitely improve. Sack percentage, big thing they need to improve upon. So they need to be able to prevent sacks. And as you can see, they pretty much were in the 7 win or less area when it came to their ability to prevent sacks. On top of that, they definitely can improve offensive score percentage. I mean, they pretty much were in the 7 win or less area when it comes to the ability to put points on the board. Defensive offensive score percentage could improve as well. They definitely are closer to the 8 wins or more area, but the defense, and don't get me wrong, the defense could also improve if the offense improves. So that's definitely another thing to kind of consider. But the big things on defense I think they really need to improve upon is turnover ratio. They don't really turn the football over as much as they need to compared to what the averages are for teams that usually win more games. Sack percentage is not where it needs to be as well. Interception percentage, no dice. Punting yardage, kick yardage, definitely not at least average, which is where it kind of needs to be in terms of the averages. Defensive punt return yardage, definitely not exactly where it needs to be. Field goal percentage, another big area that definitely needs to improve on. And if they improve field goal percentage, their offensive score percentage should go up, because if you're able to hit 3-pointers more often, then your overall ability to put points on the board should increase. Extra point percentage definitely should increase, and of course all, which is just a combination of everything. They're definitely not where they need to be in terms of just the overall ability of the team. And they're more so in the 7 wins or less area, definitely. So those are a lot of the areas where they need to improve. The last area I wanted to talk about was the first down completion percentage, the completion percentage data, and the passing, run data, and of course the first down conversion rate data. A lot of this data basically deals with the first down completion percentage compared to every team since '98, second down, third down, fourth down, the conversion rate with the run. So this is first down conversion rate data, which is what this other sort of data point is. And then of course, 1DP is pass conversion rate. As you can clearly see here with completion percentage data, the offense has just kind of gone downhill, especially when you look at 2015 to 2017. You can see the areas where things were starting to get worse, and then it just kind of fell off a cliff in 2017. So if they want to get better on offense, definitely the passing game needs to improve, especially when you consider that the best year that they had as a passing team was in that particular year. Rushing downs, I know a lot of you guys are going to go, well, David Johnson was injured and he's going to be healthy. And again, if he comes back healthy and he's 100%, I think you could see similar numbers to what happened in 2016, or even similar numbers to what happened in 2015. But you can clearly see the difference between having David Johnson in 2016 versus having no David Johnson in 2017. Pretty pitiful in terms of the ability to convert first downs with the run in those various downs and distances. And then the last point, of course, is first down conversion rate with the pass in various downs and distances. And in that area, you can clearly see a big difference between 2015 to 2016 to 2017. 2017, just pitiful second down conversion rate and pitiful third down conversion rate. So, if they get a better quarterback, I think a lot of these different data points should improve. And this also just gives you a general idea of where the Cardinals stack up in various other sort of data points, which you can, look up on. You can look at the terms and definition page to kind of give you an idea, and you can kind of, have fun with this if you want as well. So, in general, team needs. They need to have offensive playmakers. They need to get a quarterback. They need to get wide receivers. They need to get tight ends. I'll give you that David Johnson was injured, but I definitely would consider looking into getting a running back to be there just in case something happens to David Johnson. You have to have a backup. 2, offensive linemen. The sack percentage they gave up was bad. You have to improve your ability to prevent sacks. That's a big need. Offensive tackle, offensive line, in general, needs to be a big point of emphasis. Defensive playmakers, edge rushers, defensive tackles, linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties. And specifically, they need to get defensive players that can create sacks and create turnovers, because those are the two big areas on defense that they lacked. They were not creating sacks at a high rate as a team, and they weren't creating turnovers at a high rate as a team. And those two areas need to improve if you're going to win more football games in the future on defense. And then lastly, you need to get a better place kicker. You had a below average place kicker. You're not going to win a lot of football games. It doesn't matter who you are. You are going to struggle to win football games if you have a place kicker who is below average. You just are. You have to have somebody who's at least above average in that particular area. So place kicker is definitely an area of need that I think you guys should definitely consider when it comes to this team. But overall, that is the general season review of the Arizona Cardinals in 2017. I didn't really get into individual players and stuff like that, which I am going to get into in other videos, later videos once I get more data to analyze. But this is just a general overview of everything, and I hope you like this video as well. So just leave a comment below if you have any questions about stuff. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so that you're always notified when another video of mine drops. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.